You're not good, I don't feel like you're concerned. Yeah. This is true. Yeah. I always feel like nothing is true, but right now. Does your face get over? See? In a heartbeat.
Check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Testing 1 2. Get a thumbs up when we're good. All right. Thanks.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you. Who?
we'll let Coach make an opening statement, and raise your hand. We're going to microphone to you for questions.
Well, really pleased with how our football team responded. It was a gut-wrenching loss last week. It spilled our guts and played extremely hard in the game, and just never really found a way to get it moving offensively, get a stop on defense. And you're always, as a coach, when you go through that and you see the hurt in the locker room at the end, you're worried about the next week, regardless of the circumstance, situation. I want to thank our fans for an unbelievable environment, another sellout. But to come back here and I thought played a very clean game from the standpoint until late in the game defensively, that was embarrassing. But I thought offensively we established the run well. We wore them down in the third quarter. We ran the ball at will. Defensively, just huge plays with turnovers, and it's hard to win. I told Brett that at the end. I mean, you can't win with those turnovers and be able to turn over and score scores off of that. So extremely proud of our football team, the way we responded today, and I'll open it up for any questions.
Raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Middle here.
Will, you got some guys back on defense today with Sawyer and Nixon played and Montague. How big of an impact did that have on the defense and the way they performed?
Well, I think we need to start playing more and more snaps as the season wears on. I was talking to a couple of players this week. How do you feel? Well, I'm probably about 90%. I said, you're never going to be 100% this time of the season. That's part of it. So understand that, and to be able to get those guys some quality snaps. And Keeson made a fantastic play on the interception. Steven, I wish he'd gotten it out on the third down there on the over route there late, but gets the ball. He gets his hand on the ball. I mean, he knocked the ball off the guy on the Wildcat run and had an opportunity for a turnover there. So to have those guys coming back healthy, obviously Dante helped us a lot from just a juice standpoint, a guy that gives you some quality snaps and some toughness. And this was a good game for us defensively from a standpoint of the two-back challenge and not seeing it a lot. And I thought Tavares Robinson and our defensive staff had a really good plan, and our players executed the plan.
Josh.
Can you remember a game a defense of yours scored 3 times?
I don't think I don't think it's happened before. I know I've been around 2, but not 3. So it was, and if Jam scoops it up, we got 4, on that other one. Steve Fink corrected me when we got in real quick on that to make sure. Wonder if we were working on scooping and scoring. So.
How validating is that as a defensive coach? That's sort of the idea.
I don't care what kind of coach you are. You can be a field goal guy. It's good. And I hadn't been real good at those, so.
Coach, do you think that was your most complete defensive performance of the season so far?
Well, again, I think it's all relative to who you face, and I thought one of our best performances was against Louisiana Tech, and nobody wants to hear that. And everybody they feel insulted about that. They got a really good offensive football team. We did a fantastic job that day. Arkansas is just a little unique in what they do. They've got a different approach to how they run their offense. So, again, I was just very pleased that we were able to fit the runs as well as we fit them. We had one run come out on our sideline. David hit the stretch play on our sideline, about second or third series maybe. And then past that, I don't know that a run came out. I mean, that was a 23-yarder, and past that there's a quarterback scramble, and then they hit the Hammonds kid on the reload on the speed sweep for 12 yards. Other than that, we didn't give up anything in the run game. So that's a marked improvement from where it's been.
You sort of answered my question, but they came in averaging 205 rushing yards a game. How big of an emphasis was that in practice this week?
When you play a team like this, it's going to be methodical and huddle and limit possessions and go to the line of scrimmage and check the looks. And you got to fit the runs, and you got to stick your face in the fan and like it. And I told our players all week and really challenged them to put their big boy pads on and get ready to go play, because it was going to be a run game, play action game, boot and naked game, and we were going to have to hold up in those situations. And we had the opportunities, especially early in the game. I think they were 2 of 7 on third down in the first half. So getting off the field on third down, and the 2 third downs they converted was a 3rd and 2 and a 3rd and 1. So they're both manageable down in distances.
Let's go right over here.
Coach, Rico had a really good game today. Do you think that has a lot to do with him just being a little bit healthier this week?
This is the first time he's been healthy since NC State. He took a good shot in the Missouri game on the first drive on a swing pass, and he got hit again on it late in the La Tech game. We drained his quad on the Friday before A&M. I didn't even think he was going to make the trip. He said he wanted to try it. I asked him in pregame last week. He says he feels pretty good. We tried him a little bit. He wasn't great, but this is the best he's looked going into this ball game this past week. It's an issue when you have a quad contusion for a running back. It's going to hurt. And he's battled through it. He hasn't missed practice time. He's doesn't complain about it. He's trying to push through it, but it's hard. So this is the first time he's been healthy.
You mentioned worry and how your team might respond after Texas A&M. Conversely, could a game like this help loosen everybody up and maybe spark something?
I don't know that from a standpoint of I think we've been pretty loose. I think that I don't know that in our first 6 games I've ever questioned our effort. I really haven't. I mean, I don't know that I've questioned our buy-in. I don't question our want to. Has it always been exactly what you wanted? No. I mean, let's just cut to the chase. But from an effort standpoint, our guys give effort. You know, our guys go, I don't turn the tape on and be disappointed like I was at times last year in how we competed. You know, our guys have a little competitive edge about themselves and what they try and do. And so from that standpoint, as long as you get consistent effort and then you play with better toughness, which we have, and I think we've improved from game 1 to game 6, and then you play a little smarter, with a little more discipline. And we're the least penalized team in the SEC, and that goes a little bit into discipline. Not that stat has anything to do with winning games, because it doesn't. But play a little smarter in situational football. We need to play better in the fringe areas of the red zone. We've stumbled again a little bit in the first half offensively there. We've got to convert those into 7 points. We got to play much better on 3rd down, which we did tonight on both sides of the ball when the game was on the line. You know, a lot of these were, trash stats at the end. You guys like?
Will, talk a little bit about the defensive line. Javon Kinlaw also got in there, and I thought made some big plays for you, kind of a run-stopping kind of guy.
Well, Ulrich and Javon are both big men that are hard to move if they'll play with the right kind of pad level. So that's always a concern when you start playing double teams and you start standing up and taking it in the face. And when they're able to play behind their pads, they can be very effective. And I think for the most part, I did not see them get displaced much tonight. Of course, I'd like to watch the film first. Taylor Stallworth is a really good inside player. He's an outstanding inside player. He's played well all season. He'll continue to play well. I think Kier Thomas continues to play inside and outside along with Dante to provide depth for us. I saw Aaron Sterling in there a lot. Dennis Wonham always plays well. So, I mean, I've been very pleased with how those guys have continued to progress. We look like we were running in the sand pit rushing the passer there in the 4th quarter. We got to get better pass rush out of them guys.
Coach, Jake missed on some throws early, but once again he came up with a couple of really big ones at the end of the first half. How did you think he played in those instances?
I wish you would have hit Hayden on the corner out there, but throw to Brian, let's go let him make a play. And Jake understands that, So, again, I'm glad he's our quarterback. He's a gutsy performer. Our guys rally around him. There's a lot of intangible things that he touches within our organization that, makes him a special player. And the guys really have rallied around him moving forward and have been very pleased.
Well, you said it's still a work in progress when you guys get in the fringe and in the red zone, but how much does 150 yards on the ground help today in the offense
again,
moving
it's just
the ball?
balance. It creates balance in your offense, and it creates a little doubt in the play caller on the defensive side of the ball. They may actually run the ball here, but we were very effective running the inside zone, the divide zone today. A lot of times when teams are strictly a 3-down team and you create a C area player, it creates some softness in that. And I thought Kurt Roper and our offensive staff and Eric Wolford and Brian McClendon and Pat Washington and Bobby Bentley did an outstanding job of designing to get to those runs to create some window dressing on the overhang defender with the speed motion, which obviously displaced the overhang defender in a lot of situations. And that's really was key to the run game.
Well, Hayden tonight with 2 catches, obviously the long touchdown, but the run, another jet sweep, and the jet sweep that he had against Missouri. How important is it to get a guy like him, a playmaker like him, the ball, no matter how you're getting him the ball?
Well, it's not about plays, it's about players, and it's always been that way. And we call pressures to get Sky Moore going on defense, and it may not be the most pretty-looking pressure versus what they're doing, but we're going to get number 10 rushing. So those are just things you think about as a coach. You get away from thinking about plays, think about players. But, that was a really well set up by our offensive staff. We've run the inside zone very successfully in the first quarter, sometimes not so much, but a hard play action fake down the middle. They're playing split safety coverage, and Hayden gets on top of the linebacker. Well-thrown ball, and Hayden finishes on the play.
Well, how important was that touchdown drive right at the end of the first half? There were some wacky things that happened in there, but, how important was it, and what kind of a spark did that give you going into the locker room?
Well, we wanted to get the first down before we went fast. We had plenty of time, and we had 2 timeouts. So there was no hurry. The worst thing we could have done is left time on the clock, punt it back to them, and let Austin Allen have another shot before half. So let's get the first down. Let's manage that, which we did, and then we're going to go fast, and we still had 2 timeouts. We had plenty of time. I mean, I don't know what wacky you're talking about, but
12 on the field there for a second.
No, that was dumbass. That wasn't wacky. It's inexcusable coaching is what it is, and I'll get it corrected. That's on me.
Health-wise, how do you come out of this game with especially Sherrod and Dennis?
I think we're fine. I don't know. You know, Casey had the ankle. I have not gotten a report on that yet, so we'll continue to look at that. You know, Clint, I asked him coming in here. I said, "We okay?" And I said, "You know, got to look at Casey's ankle." And that's all I know.
You had Dennis go down, but you also said Blake Camp earlier this week should get some more snaps. How do you feel like he did in the offensive line as a whole after last
I like
week?
to watch the film, but I just listened to the coaches on the headsets. But they felt Blake did a really nice job. He's certainly a guy that's, you know, very dependable in playing multiple spots and doing a really good job for us. And Dennis just had a cramp. He was okay, so that was nothing serious.
Coach, you spoke about how proud you are of the effort, the buy-in of the team continuously. 4-2, obviously a lot different than 3-3 before going on the road now in SEC play. How rewarding is it to see that buy-in continue to be paying off, especially before a big test?
Well, first of all, we inherited some really good young men when we came here. I mean, really, you talk in terms of Hayden Hurst and a lot of those guys that were a part of this organization that have, you know, Terry Gouger and guys that just Sky Moore, Bryson Allen Williams, Dante Sawyer, Taylor Stallworth. I mean, they're all good people, and they want South Carolina to win, and they want to get it. They want to get it done right. So they, instead of being resistant to a new organization, they've really bought in, just like our seniors did last year, and they've really brought along the new players that have come in, and some of those guys are playing major roles. Sherrod Green started for his first time tonight. Brad Johnson's been a starter in our Rabbits package for the last 2 weeks. So there's, you know, Jemias has been starting for us. Shy and Ortrey are both getting touchdown catches and starting games for us. So again, there's a lot of young guys involved with that, but it's sometimes there's sometimes friction between an older player and a younger player, and there's none of that in our organization. And they're bringing them along, and it's been really good. And we got to continue to build those recruiting classes together.
Coach, at times it seems like either the offense or the defense was leaning on the other side of the ball. I know the last couple of weeks it seems like the defense has been kind of stepping up and the offense leaning on them. But how nice was it to see them not lean the offense, that is, but to be able to feed off the energy the defense was providing, especially in that third quarter?
Well, there's no question. You know, it gets demoralizing for a team anytime you get a strip fumble type situation to be able to create a long score, get more momentum, get the offense back on the field, and we were going to run the ball at that time. We were going bound and determined to run the ball. So very rewarding to be able to be in those situations and be able to try and finish the game. You know, being able to run the football, and so there's no question. As good teams feed off each other, and certainly I think our guys have done that.
Between Sherrod and Daniel, obviously working in a couple guys in that position, but your front seven, did they exceed your expectations in how they stood up to the power that Arkansas can bring, and if so, how much?
I expect them to play well.
Looked like you guys were really trying to force the issue in downfield passing. Was that just a result of some of the one-on-one matchups on the outside and what they were giving
On
to
the
you?
some shot plays?
Yeah.
Well, I think that in a lot of situations, and I'm not going to get into schematics, but when you're getting any 3-by-1s, they were overloading the coverage away from the X, the single receiver, and we had a lot of one-on-one shots, and we wanted to be able to hit those going into the game. So I'm trying to think back in my mind, just kind of, you know, we hit the deep ball to Hayden down the field, but there was a couple shots we had dialed up outside based on them shifting their coverage to the 3-by-1 set. That was just a game plan situation we felt like we wanted to try and take advantage of.
Will, you said during the week that for Parker, you may not put him in a position to kick such long field goals. I know some of his misses have been 50-plus in the 40s. What went into the decision to put him out for 49? Was that just a case of giving him a chance to redeem himself?
Well, you know, again, a lot goes into how he's kicked throughout the week in pregame, and we felt really good about where he was. And, you know, again, I got a lot of confidence. I think you got to continue to have confidence. When we're moving the ball, we're having opportunities. We're not finishing some drives like we want to, but when you get in those field goal situations, let's take a shot and see what the guy can do. He's got the leg, and he's got the leg swing and all that. We've got a lot of things ironed out within what he's doing. We got to continue to give him. It's a long season. We're going to need him to kick some kicks for us. And you can't go for it every fourth down. We're going to go for it on a bunch, but we can't go for it on all of them.
Anything else for Coach? We'll get some players in here.
All right, thank you.
All right, first up tonight, we got Sky Moore closest to me, and that's Hayden Hurst on the far side. You raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you. David here, or somebody else is going to have to go first. How about Josh in front?
Sky, how much fun was that? 3 defensive touchdowns and kind of get rolling on that side of the ball.
Oh yeah, I mean it was fun. I never really experienced nothing like that playing here, so you know it was a good experience.
Hayden, just talk about the touchdown and being a little bit more involved in the offense today.
You know, Coach, I mean, he dialed up some good plays today, and I think we just took advantage of that. You know, Jake made some good throws, and we sustained some good drives. You know, it was impressive, and I'm proud of the guys for that.
Sky, was that the defense's most complete performance so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, you know, T-Rob was, you know, emphasizing that we had to have a complete game this week, so I think we definitely came out and did that for sure.
Hayden, on your touchdown, what did you see pre-snap, and just kind of how did that play out as the ball was delivered to you?
You know, it's kind of a look that we went over during the week. You know, middle field open. You know, Jacob did a very good job of holding the safety, and then I kind of just cut underneath him, and Jake put it right over the linebacker. It was a perfect throw, and then I just finished it.
Hayden, you said after Missouri that you hadn't run the football since Pop Warner. Are you know, going to start to get in those running back meetings now, or?
I don't know if I'll go in the running back meetings, but if Coach has the faith in me to run some in-arounds and, you know, change some things up and put some wrinkles in the offense, I'm all for it.
I know the last couple of weeks, especially at the beginning of the year, defense was leaning on the offense. Last couple of weeks, offense leaning on defense. But the way the defense played tonight, it didn't seem like it was leaning on offense. It was more so, you know, being able to feed off that. Did you just sense that? And how nice is it when you guys are just both, you know, complementary football on both sides?
Yeah, it's good, you know, when we're both clicking on all cylinders and doing what we're supposed to do. So, you know, offense brings up the defense when they make plays. Defense brings up the offense, and the momentum just keeps going. So it's good.
Okay, for both of you, following up with that, the confidence that a performance like this can build for the entire team when all phases are playing well. What kind of confidence does that give you now? You're at the halfway point, 4-2. Just need 2 more wins to become bowl eligible.
You know, I think, like you said, that's big for our confidence, especially on offense when we can run the ball like that and, you know, control the front. You know, that's what we've been looking for all year, and we finally were able to do that tonight. You know, and then when your defense is playing the way they played tonight, that's huge. You know, and we just feed off of that energy.
Sky, you're one off the school record for interceptions. Is that something you've thought about, and if not, do you start thinking about that now?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that, you know, it's been around in my ear. You know, people have been, you know, telling me, and so it's been on my mind. So, you know, I'm just gonna keep playing and doing what I do, and if the plays come to me, I'll make them.
Sky, talk a little bit about the defensive line and the job they did. I thought they pushed up the field all night long and kind of kept the offensive lineman off of you.
Yeah, no, they did a fantastic job tonight. They've been doing a great job all year, really. So that D-line, our D-line's been playing great, and, you know, I love those guys. So they've just been playing great.
Hayden, how do you feel like the tight ends and the offensive line held up against Arkansas's front 7? And do you feel like you guys opened up the running lanes pretty well tonight?
Absolutely, but I mean, I can attribute that to the coaching this week. I mean, we had some ideas on that front because they ran odd the whole night. You know, get some combos on those tackles and move up to linebackers, and I think they just helped the running backs find lanes.
Hayden, talk a little bit about today passing 1,000 yards for you, only the 3rd tight end in the program's history to do that. Now I believe you're 4 receptions shy of the school record there, so 2 fairly big accomplishments there. Just talk a little bit about that.
It's news to me. I had no idea. I mean, I'll let you guys worry about the stat stuff. You know, whatever, like I always say, whatever coach dials up, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to run it as hard as I can. I'm going to go up and try to jump for passes that Jake's throwing to me. You know, that's just the type of player I want to be.
For both of you guys, that had to be a great win to hang 48 on a scoreboard. What's the momentum, the mood like in the locker room when you get back there and you can soak in a W like that and celebrate with your teammates after all the hard work?
I mean, it's good. You know, after a big win, it's always a great feeling. You know, we put in a lot of hard work throughout the week. So, you know, whenever our work comes and shows on Saturday, you know, it feels great. So it's good, and we just want to continue it.
Scott, the defense, what can you guys take from this game moving forward? Obviously, it's a little different than what you'll see from some other teams, but is there anything in particular you guys can
Yeah, I mean, we just gotta focus on ourselves and play our game. T-Rod's been talking about having a complete game, so we just have to put those back to back to back, and just try to keep going that, keep doing that throughout each week. So we just gotta have a complete game each week.
Anything else for these two guys? Let them go.
Thank you.
We got DJ one on our side and Mrs. Rita Dowd closer to me. Questions for these two guys? Start at the front here.
Rico, what happened when you had to come out of the game? Was it the thigh again, or?
The first or the second time?
Second time.
Oh, the second time it was my ribs.
Go ahead, Josh. We'll go back.
For both of you guys, can a win like this and just a performance like this maybe spark something, whether it be confidence-wise or momentum or loosening things up a little bit to help you in the second half of the season?
Oh, yeah, I feel like it does. I mean, we just got to come to play every game. That's how I feel about it.
I think it most definitely does. But right now, we just focused on we're going to enjoy this win. Tomorrow, we're going to come in, and we're going to be preparing for Tennessee. We're taking it one game at a time.
Go back here to the right.
Rico, you had your most productive game of the season. How much of that is just getting more and more reps, and how much of that is just feeling healthier this week?
A lot has to do, as I told you before, with production. If I produce on my carries, then I should get more reps, and that's what happened. O-line did a great job. Shout out to them. We had a couple people down, and they came in and they played well, and we got the job done.
DJ, you were all around the ball today. I think you have 2 big pass deflections there. Just what was your mindset out there? How do you think you performed overall?
I feel like I did pretty good. I left some plays out there, but I mean, every game I just come with the mindset to play hard as I can. So,
DJ, how do you guys feel like you defended the run today? It seemed, I mean, this team runs pretty well throughout the season. Just what were you guys doing special to make sure that they didn't get too many big chunk plays there?
I mean, we weren't really doing much special. We were just, playing football. They run the ball, we got to stop it.
DJ, coming into this game, did you think you'd be able to kind of control their offensive line as much as it seemed like you did?
I mean, I came into the game, we watched film, so, I felt like, I have the advantage. But I know every game I come to play regardless, so, I mean.
DJ, do you have something? You guys have something going on the defensive line there, where you got kind of competitive with each other, and it's a success of individuals, feed off each other.
Oh yeah, I mean, we compete every day. During the summer, we work extra, just to get right for the season coming up.
At times this season, the offense and defense have had to lean on each other, vice versa. But today, especially in that third quarter, defense making some plays. Can you feel that energy on the offensive side of the ball, and then defense? I mean, when they're going out there doing their thing, and you're clicking. I mean, what's going through your minds at that point?
Like you said, we've been feeding off each other all year. I was kind of wondering when the offense was going to get on the field. But yeah, they did a great job. Definitely gave us energy and just kept the energy up. This game went.
I mean, when the offense make plays, it sparks us up. We ready to go on the field right now. So I mean, that's that's pretty much.
Anything else for these two guys? Let's go. Okay. You guys can go. Thanks, guys. Brian Edwards and Jake Bentley. You guys, you got any questions for Josh in front?
for both of you. A game like this, can that kind of shake loose some things and help you get some confidence or momentum, or just help you maybe play to your full potential down the stretch?
For sure. We knew going into the game it was a big game for us. We just had to come out there and play well, play hard, and that's what we did. And I think this is going to propel us for the rest of the season. Big game next week against Tennessee, and then the bye week. So it's also another big game for us, another big SEC game next week, and this game's definitely going to help confidence-wise.
I think just winning the game in general gives you a little boost in confidence. Anytime you see a W up in the win column, it's fun for you. So hopefully we can carry that into next week.
Jake, can you kind of talk about that touchdown drive right at the end of the first half? You start out with a couple of runs, get in a position where you can, attack, and how important was that?
Yeah, those two big runs gave us an opportunity to be more aggressive. Kind of got us going on that drive, and then just down the red zone. With him, one-on-one matchup. I like it any day against anyone. So just giving him a chance, and we liked the matchup, and he made a great play coming down with it. So just trying to be aggressive and put points on the board before halftime.
Jake, what are you feeling not quite going right in that first quarter, and what kind of settles down for you as it goes on?
Arkansas did a great job of, mixing it up. What we saw on film and what they did beginning of the game was a lot different. So it took us a while to adjust. But out of everything, that's probably what I'm most proud of the guys about is, no one got rattled, no one got down. We just kept battling, and defense made some big plays for us, and we just started to execute better and got it going. So, at the end of the day, it was down to execution. I'm going to keep saying it until I can't say it anymore. That's at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, winning one-on-one matchups, and that's about it.
Jake, how much did it mean to the offense for the defense to come out and convert those 2 turnovers into touchdowns early in the second half?
It's huge. It's huge to have that, take some pressure off of us. But, and their confidence is through the roof right now. Coach Muschamp really challenged them before the game to be physical and stop the run, and they did a great job of that today. So, it's just to see them playing well, gets us playing well, and really just boosts the confidence of the whole team.
Jake, it looked like the offense you came out today looking for more creative ways to get your playmakers the football. How did the rhythm compare today for you, compared to the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, we just went in today, wanted to take advantage of the one-on-one shots that we had. We missed a few early, but then we started hitting them. So, it's just winning those one-on-ones. And, I guess they were giving us more one-on-ones than other teams, and we took advantage of it. But flow of the game felt about the same. Getting the running game going was huge. The running backs did a great job, and the offensive line did an outstanding job, both in the run game and pass protection. So just being able to move the ball effectively tonight was just big for us.
With the way last week's loss went, Coach called it gut-wrenching. I know obviously it's probably that natural reaction just to be able to want to go back out there as quick as you can, go play another game. But how important was it to be able to go back and practice, focus on some of the little things, and just talk about how practice went this week to be able to flip the page and put that in the past?
Yeah, that was the big message after the game tonight, and Coach Muschamp said it was about how we practiced this week. It was about the mentality that we came out there with, that that loss last week wasn't going to define our season. And we had to have a great week of practice to prepare for Arkansas. So the team did an outstanding job. The leaders on our team really stepped up and rallied the team together. And we blocked out everything and just focused on what we had to do and got better at practice and then executed on game day.
Jake, just what are you seeing and reading on that long pass to Hayden?
Yeah, they gave us the coverage that we wanted. And then a lot of other receivers did a great job of pulling their defenders away from Hayden. And I knew I just had to get it over the linebacker there. Almost a little short, but and got over him. And Hayden, I knew when he caught it, it was a touchdown. So it's an outstanding job overall. Great protection. Great by the receivers of doing their job, and Hayden made a great play.
Brian, what's your mindset got to be in a jump ball situation?
B-Mac does a great job of telling all the receivers, if the ball's in the air, it's your ball, no matter what type of throw it is, anything, what's going on around you, if the DB's holding you or nothing like that. When the ball in the air, you got to attack it and you got to make a play.
Brian, did you have any doubt you were in on that second quarter touchdown? I mean, did you have to watch the replay for a second?
I was just really looking at the referee just to see what he was going to do. So I really didn't know, honestly. I just was glad I was in.
You guys have been pretty close on a couple close touchdowns that didn't really connect on throughout the season. How does it feel to get the first one? What does that do for you guys' connection going forward?
Anytime you get in the box, it feels good. So hopefully we can just build off that and, continuing to make plays and open a lot of other things up.
For both of you guys, Coach said that he was worried about the vibe in the locker room after last week's loss, how you guys were responding this week. Did you play with extra importance knowing 4-2 sounds a lot better than 3-3?
Really, it was just the next game. We had a big SEC team coming in, and we had to defend our home field, and that's what we did. I mean, obviously, that's in your mind, wanting to be 4-2, after the game. But at the end of the day, you just got to go out there and play, and that's what we did. And I think it's because we prepared so well and just got ready through practice.
Yeah, same thing. 0-5, 5-0, 4-2. It really doesn't matter. Every week we're coming out to play hard. We're expecting to win. We're playing hard. We're having fun. And, that's just the motto.
Jake, you mentioned the deep shots. Are those kind of calculated to where you're going to go deep before when the play is called, or is it kind of something you see from the defense or just watching the play develop? How do you decide when to go deep and when not to?
A little bit of both. Like I said, the one-on-one matchups is what we look for the most, and they were giving it to us. And like I said, I mean, we missed on a few and we hit a few, and that's the way it's going to be. Throwing the ball down the field, and the receivers did a great job tonight of going to attack the ball. And so, yeah, I mean, one-on-one matchups is what we look for.
Brian, what was it like getting a little involved in the run game, and how did that kind of come together?
It was fun. It was one of my first runs, so, I was kind of, iffy about it, but I got it. I hit it, got the first down, and kept the drive moving, and, that's all you could really ask for.
Jake, Hayden, 2 catches tonight, obviously the long touchdown, but 2 more runs tonight. He had the run against Missouri. How important is it to get one of your playmakers involved, even if he's not catching the ball?
Yeah, it's extremely important to get the ball in his hands. He's a dynamic playmaker. He's a one of the hardest workers on the team, so he deserves to have the ball. I missed him on a touchdown, and the great thing about Hayden is he doesn't get mad about that. He was more mad at himself for messing up a very minute thing on another play than missing a touchdown. And he's just a great teammate. And when he gets the ball in his hands, he can do a lot of things special for us.
Jake, with all the injuries that have happened to the offensive line, especially in the last couple of weeks, and playing musical chairs, moving guys on both sides of the football, how impressive is it when that unit is able to come together like the way they did tonight?
Oh man, it's unbelievable to see Allen not really, with the guys out, really take control of the offensive line and rally the guys together and have that motto of so what, now what. He's done an outstanding job. Donnell Stanley being a guy that's played a lot here, really just rallying the guys together, and the guys that are out there are expected to do well. They're expected to know the plays and protect and give 100% effort. So that's all we can ask from them. They're doing a great job of that.
Jake, you mentioned being excited for Parker after he made that game-winning field goal. How is he doing tonight? Unfortunately, after a couple more misses, obviously another longer one. But how's he doing?
And I haven't really talked to him. I know he made one to get us 3-0. Made another one. So he made some, and that's the biggest thing I'm gonna focus on about it with him is the ones you make. You don't want to dwell on the ones you miss, and that's the big thing I've been talking to him about is I think after the La Tech game and the ones he's missed, he's maybe heard outside noise from other people. He's heard negativity, and that's the big thing I talked to him about. Is just to block all that out. He knows that the whole team's behind him, and we expect him to make kicks, but we're behind him 100%, and that's the big message to him.
Let these guys go. Good. Last two players tonight. This is Alan Knott. This is T.J. Brunson. Questions for these two gentlemen? Okay. Right in front. Go to the front.
Do you remember your last touchdown before tonight, TJ?
That was my first. First ever. First time I got in the end zone. It was kind of fun.
Ben?
Alan, just what did it mean for this line with kind of how patchwork it's become in some spots to be able to do what you guys did tonight?
It's tremendous. I think it shows that we're capable of doing whatever we want on the offensive side of the ball. And I think we got to continue to work at it and continue to get better at it and keep doing it.
Over here to John.
Alan, from a broad standpoint on offense, does a game like this kind of give y'all some confidence, some momentum, relieve some pressure from you guys?
It definitely does. It definitely gives us momentum going into next week. As in a thing that we can do better is, of course, we can still run the ball better, we can still protect better and all those things, but I think it was definitely a big step for us.
The middle back, Greg.
TJ, before the season, we talked to you about what it was like growing up here in Columbia, envisioning playing at Williams-Brice and the moments that would come with it. Did you ever envision the one that happened today, and how did it meet reality?
I think it was going to come eventually. Something like that was going to happen, but I'm thankful. It's really cool to be at home and, make plays like that.
TJ, do you feel like that was y'all's most complete game defensively this season?
Defensively, yes. I think we were all locked in and on the same page. That's the biggest thing. Everyone was on the same page. So.
Could have been in front.
TJ, what did you feel like was going right for the front seven to be able to kind of control the offensive line of Arkansas the way you did?
Point of attack. They set the line of scrimmage, established a new line of scrimmage and everything, but they played their tails off. The defensive line played their tails off. I'm really thankful that they came out and showed out and did what they did.
Ben again.
TJ, just what was it like to get a few hits in on your former teammate David?
It's just another tackle, another person to tackle. No big deal.
Alan, with Arkansas's kind of unique front seven there, what kind of challenges does that bring to an offensive line? How do you feel like you handled that tonight, especially in the run game?
They're a team that likes to bring pressure from the field and from the boundary both ways. So it's something that we had to keep our eye on, and it was a big task for our guards, especially because it was either going to be blocking here or blocking there, and having to read it on the run. And it's something that they did very well. I think Cedarius Hutcherson played tremendous tonight. I think he did very well with what he had to work with. I think it was a big challenge for us, and I think we stepped up to it and handled it.
Alan, Jake was just talking about with all the injuries, he's kind of seen you step up and being able to fill that role, being a leader on the offensive line. Did you say anything to the boys this week, especially with the way things went last week, and just how proud of you of that unit just to be able to respond after last week's game?
I'm tremendously proud. you know, especially after last week, you know, we kind of broke down there at the end, and you know, including myself. But you know, it's something that has to be done, and you know, just getting those guys on the right page is a big task. But it's something that Coach Wolf's helped me with, and you know, I think we did a great job tonight overall.
Alan, in the early going, it seemed like in some spots they were getting free runners. Jake's kind of thrown off his back foot a little bit. What did you guys kind of change and tighten up there?
Just knowing where they're bringing their pressures from, because like I said before, they brought them from all over the place. You know, a lot of teams will bring a lot of pressures from the boundary or from the field, you know, but they brought it from all over the place, and a lot of different guys too. So they had a big personnel on defense that we had to look out for, and I think once we dialed in on that, it got better.
Alan, probably most complete game in the running game so far this season. Ran the ball a lot, ran it consistently. Was that something that you guys kind of talked about this week, or was that kind of something that you got some confidence in the game and just started working that in the second half?
Yeah, that was a major goal of ours in practice, was to come out all week and be physical and have hard hats, so to speak. And that's kind of just our mindset all week and what we wanted to go out and do. So.
Anything else for these guys? That's a wrap.
Thank you.